Hello, welcome to the Women of Power Tech. I am Marsha Haygood, and I'm so excited to be here with you. Marsha Haygood, Stepwise Associates. I'm a motivational speaker, an author, and a leadership trainer. And today I'm talking to you about creating your playbook for success. This is one that is so powerful, and it's one that I love to talk about because so often we forget to take care of ourselves. And I'm asking you ladies to take your dreams out of storage and create your playbook for success for this year, what's left of it, and going forward, both personally and professionally. I'm talking about daring to dream. And let's talk about what dare means. Dare, D, is for having a vision of your success. As a career coach, I talk to employees and to individuals all the time about what success looks like for them. And so often, because they've been working so hard, we often forget to even take our dreams out of storage and think about what success looks like. So today I'm asking you to have that vision, to start visualizing what success looks like for you, and then act upon those dreams. Be intentional about your success. Don't let it happen to you. Make success happen for you. That's what we're talking about. And then review. And we'll talk about the 7 R's in review. I talk about that because we get so busy that sometimes we forget to review our accomplishments, to review what's worked for us and what hasn't. And then to excel. You know, we are already successful. We already know how to be successful. This is a reminder of that. And we're going to talk about how you celebrate your own success, being consistent and moving forward with purpose. Dream. Imagine your future. You know, we've heard the quote, start with the end in mind. And I want you to do just that. Not just talking about your tasks, not just setting up goals. I'm going to do this next week and I'm going to do this next month. I want you to think long term. Think about what you want to accomplish. You know, I shared with people that I've been successful, blessed, and successful, and I've also been happy. And so often we're working so hard, climbing that corporate ladder, dealing with colleagues, dealing with bosses, dealing with family, that we forget that happiness is ours to have. We have that choice, but we have to plan it out. We have to be intentional. So I tell you now to start with big, smart goals. Devote some time to what's important to you. So often we're so busy working hard that we're just doing these tasks. Some of them may be urgent, but they may not be important. I want you to stop and think about that because I want them to be important to your success. Action. As I've said, your action should be purposeful. You know, sometimes we're so busy doing what we've always done, whether it's, you know, doing those daily routines, working at a job that we like or that we may not like so much, but we need to be purposeful and strategic. I talk about who you know, who you need to know, and quite frankly, who needs to know you. You need to think about those things as you're building your playbook up. Being consistent is important. And I want you to stop and think about those things that you do on a regular basis. Are they moving you closer to that goal that you have? Are you developing healthy, happy success routines? And if you're not, start with the end in mind and do them a little bit at a time. This is not something that is going to be another chore for you. You take small steps to lead toward your success. And I want to stop here for a minute because it's so important that you take a moment to think about them. Think about what you do during the course of the day that you feel like you're working so hard, that you're so busy, and you get home in the evening and you stop and think and you say, I was real busy all day, but I don't know what I got accomplished. I want you to think about how you accomplish things for work, professionally, but also personally. It's important that happiness and fun be part of our livelihood. And that might include tech, and it might not. It might include a lot of moving around, and it might be taking some time to think. I like to put think time and other duties that we have to do in 15-minute buckets, small interval things that we can stop and think about what's working for us and what's not working for us, and then learn how to either delegate or delete some of the things that don't work for us anymore. Here's the 7 R's that I talk about. And I want to go through each one of them. And I'm hoping that while we're talking about them, while I'm talking about them, that you're thinking about them. What's your goals and your mission? Are you living your values? Are you acting the way you say you want to be perceived? Reevaluate. Where are you in the process? No matter how old you are or where you are in the ladder of your success, it's important to reevaluate where you are. And I like to ask people to do that on a regular basis, at least once a year. I'd like to say twice, but at least once a year, that you reevaluate and you reflect. Now, reflection is one where I say, I want you to reflect on your accomplishments as well as missed opportunities. And oftentimes, I see people forget about those accomplishments, especially ones that they do really well. You sort of say, oh, I just did it. Well, you know what? You need to be documenting your accomplishments. You need to document them for work and performance evaluations and to think through the process. But you also need you need to know how to articulate them so that others know who you are and what your story is and what you'd like to do. And then one that I always say is important is release. And release is about releasing the things, people, places, and things that no longer serve you. And I'm going to go there with you, ladies, and tell you everything can have an expiration date. Don't be shy about moving away from those things, those people, those places that no longer serve you. And then reconstruct. Look at, I need to do more of this. I need to do less of that. Make the changes that are necessary to make you both successful and happy. What I don't want to see you do is climb that corporate ladder and then say, I worked so hard. I gave up so much for this. I want you evaluating and reaffirming all the things that you do to see what serves you well. And don't be shy about asking for and accepting feedback. You know, it's so important, and especially in the work world where people, if you're doing a good job and you just get the feedback, oh, yeah, you did a good job, just keep doing the same thing. No longer acceptable. It wasn't acceptable before, but it really isn't acceptable now. You need to ask the right questions. What else do I need to be doing to get to the level that I want to do the job that I want to be doing? What other things could I do differently? How did that work out for you? Next year, my plan is to do it this way, or next month, my plan is to do it this way. And talk to people who can help you. You know, we've all heard about mentors, sponsors, coaches. You should have a circle. I call them my personal board of directors, of people who can help you along the way. And mentors don't necessarily know that they're your mentors, but look at people who you admire. Look at people who are doing things that you'd like to do. You're in technology, that's one where you should really be using technology to find out about people that you like, to follow people that you admire, both personally and professionally. And you can pick up some habits, some tips, some traits, some routines that will be helpful to you. And last but not least of the 7 R's is reward yourself. Don't forget to celebrate those things that you've done well, those things that you've helped move up, and also celebrate the people who have helped you. And I'm going to stop here because I want to make sure that in these 7 R's, somewhere along this track of this crazy year that we've been having, I want to remind you to go back and thank the people who have helped you get to where you are right now. You're already successful by virtue of being on this virtual conference. I know that you're successful, but there are probably some people that you forgot to say thank you to. And don't be shy about connecting with them. If it's just to say, how are you doing during these crazy times? Just want to thank you. Just thought of you. Spend some time giving because you have received already more than you can even appreciate. So go back and think about those things as well. The 7 R's: review, reevaluate, reflect, release, restructure, reaffirm, and reward. Then the E in dare is excel. And I victory is in your mind. And so often we forget how blessed we are. Start with thinking about how blessed you are already. Think that you can, and then strive toward it. One of my good friends who speaks often talk and wrote a book, Expect Carla Harris, Expect to Win. It's important that you expect to win, that you value what you have to offer. And so often we've been beat down to think that we're not as good enough. And quite frankly, we are. And we need to tell ourselves that, and we need to tell each other that. Our beliefs, our habits, our emotions set the stage for how we live, really, and how we treat others. We need to find joy in honing our talent. We need to self-educate. We need to learn from one another. We need to share with one another. And we don't have to be so secretive. We don't have to hold each other down. We need to share with one another and move forward with purpose. I think if I had to talk about one thing that I've had to share with so many of my clients this year is to stop, settle down, think about what it is that they want and what they're doing to move closer to it. And if they've moved, even if it's been just a bit, to celebrate those steps forward. And then to remember to reach back and bring others along. You know, we've had some benefits that we took for granted, quite frankly, until now. and now we have to think about what it is that we want and how we can go about getting it and how we can help each other get those things. I think that that's important to do. So I'm calling on you guys to take action so that we can all move forward with purpose. It's important that we share with one another. It's important that we learn from one another. And I just have to thank Black Enterprise Women of Power for getting us together, because so often we find that we're too busy to get together with one another. When I co-founded Black Women of Influence and talked to my co-founder about all the people we knew, we just invited everybody together to just talk to one another. And oftentimes they just found that they were working too hard, or going straight home because they were too tired, or for not knowing how to network, and they didn't get together. We have a lot to offer one another, and creating that playbook of success starts with stopping, thinking, dreaming, acting, reviewing, and then excelling so that we can move forward with purpose. It's important to do that. I'm Marsha Haygood. I'm a career coach and motivational speaker. I'm happy almost all the time because I've learned to appreciate all that I have and all of the wonderful people around me. I'd love to be able to connect with you ladies. Please feel free. I'm looking forward to the questions that you're going to be putting in the question chat box so that we can talk about them. Connect with me on LinkedIn. Don't use the lazy LinkedIn message. Send me a note, tell me how we know one another or why you want to meet with me. I'm on Facebook. I post occasionally on Twitter. It moves too fast for me, but that's okay. I just want to meet you and I want to hear what you have to say. And then also go to my website and join my mailing list, because I send out tips and strategies and whole meetings to get each other together all the time. When my co-authors and I wrote the Little Black Book of Success, Laws of Leadership for Black Women, it was because we found people were getting so busy that they were making avoidable mistakes. You don't have to make those mistakes. This is a time to learn and grow. And as crazy as this world is right now, there's opportunities out there for each of us. Take advantage of them. Network with people. Stop and think. Give yourself time to think about what you want and then move forward with purpose. I look forward to talking to you. You can email me, get in touch with me, and please put your questions in the chat box so we can talk further. Thank you so much for all that you're doing. I look forward to talking to you.